Hi everybody, Alexis here. Sorry I wasn't able to post another video yesterday. I had some technical difficulties with this phone. But I'm going to tell you about Elizabeth Ann, the little girl who lives in the castle. Um, Elizabeth Ann died at the age of 7.5 from an extreme fever. The medical records said that her fever had reached up to 107.10 or something like that. And literally her brain fried. Um, well, Elizabeth died in the house, and she became a little prankster. And we were under the impression that Elizabeth died because her mom died first. And then Elizabeth died, and maybe mommy was holding on to her. That's why the child was still in the house. We had been led to her room by her mother. We had an investigator with us named Amber. It was Amber's first time. And Amber had very, very long hair. And she kept it in two ponytails. And she would take the ponytails and put them in balls behind her head. And they were very tight. They couldn't come loose unless somebody took them loose. Well, Amber sat down on the bed and was beginning to ask questions to Elizabeth. I was sitting in another chair across the room near a window so that I could have full view of the room. I watched Amber's braids come undone. Literally, the balls came down, and it looked as though one had lifted up and somebody was unbraiding it. Amber was ready to freak out and run out the room, but I told her, please don't move. Don't move. It's Elizabeth, and she apparently likes your hair. We found a picture of Elizabeth, and Elizabeth wore the same two ponytails, but hers would be not braided, but into ribbons on the back of her hair. And she found it strange that this little girl was actually undoing her hair. She could hear giggling in her ear, and you could literally see the goosebumps on her just rise up. When she turned around to see if there was someone there, she jumped up off of the bed and screamed. When she did that, her bedroom door opened and slammed closed. I told Amber, I think you scared her with the scream. I said, what did you see? She said, I literally saw a little girl's face with beautiful red lips, cheekbones, but she had no eyes. I said, okay, we're going to go downstairs and let you recoup and get yourself together, and then we'll come back up and you can apologize for screaming. She said, no, I'm good. I said, well, we're going to go out into the hallway and see if we can set down some trigger objects and see if we can get her to come out. Trigger objects are when we set down something small that a person of her age would play with. So we put a little doll down, we put a little locket down, and a couple of other things like some necklaces, things like that, see if she could move them. Well, Elizabeth Ann not only moved them, she took them. We still haven't found them. And we looked for them. We looked in her room. We looked through drawers. We looked everywhere. And every time we would come in and say, we're going to search for these toys, we would hear a giggle, which told us Elizabeth Ann is not giving back the toys, the locket, nothing. So once we did that and we walked away from it and we came back, everything was gone. The doll, everything. We never found them, like I said. And Amber apologized to Elizabeth. And when she apologized, she said she felt better that she had told Elizabeth Ann, "I'm sorry." And Elizabeth Ann whispered in her ear, "It's okay." We actually picked it up on a tape. All of our tapes we send back to England to the original owner of the house now, because he is the one who wants us to keep investigating in there and find out what's going on. And the house can't be sold to anyone else because it is truly, truly haunted. People have tried to live in this place and they've been run out in the middle of the night. One man told us that once he purchased the house, he was going to stay there no matter what. And he lasted 2 days. He didn't even sleep in the house the first night. But the second night when he showed up with his girlfriend saw a face staring at her while she laid down. She turned her head and there was a face there. She said it was looking like it was melting. She jumped up in her pajamas and ran out the house, got in her car, and called her boyfriend and said, "Either you leave now or I leave you here." He said, "There's nothing in this house, nothing to worry about. You can go if you want to." 10 minutes later, he was calling us from the front porch in his pajamas at 3 o'clock in the morning, saying, "The house smells like rotten eggs, and something literally told me to get out or die here." And when we got there at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, the doors had locked themselves, the windows had locked themselves. He said he could not get back in. He was freezing. We put him in the car. I walked up to the front door and I said, "William, please let me in." And the door mysteriously unlocked. I'll tell you what happened when I went in alone in the next video. Remember, peace, love, positivity. Put it out there, it will always come back to you. Bye.